Good morning. Welcome to Hope for Survival YouTube. Thanks for tuning in. If you're new, thanks for coming back. And for my regular followers, thanks for coming back. It's much appreciated. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a good week. It's a beautiful day here in East Tennessee. It's it's like an autumn morning. Nice and cool. Lots of sunshine. Still need some more rain, but we had a little bit in the last couple of days, so we'll take what we can get. This video I have titled, Are We Dancing with the Devil? I was listening to a podcast from my brother in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Chris Scott, on the Christopher Scott Show. And he was talking about an encounter he had with a Vietnam vet recently who told him with excitement he was voting for the current Liberal nominees and ticket in the November 2024 election. And after hearing what Chris was sharing, I kind of went into deep thought and was thinking about the period of the Vietnam War and who got us into the war and who got us out of the war, and ideology during those periods that our Vietnam vets were fighting in the war, and when they returned home and the welcoming they did not receive. And there has been a prolonged bitterness over many years from many of the Vietnam vets to the war and how it transpired in the years following the war. So I jotted down some thoughts that I want to share with you. They're my thoughts alone. You may have your own thoughts, but I just wanted to share some things with you. So changes rest upon the shoulders of the federal government, however driven policies are reflective of the political party in office. I think we can still step back and see both parties where they wear a different hat, but they don the same suit. And in the current times that we are living in, and all the craziness is taking place, how many politicians from either party do you see standing on the steps with their fellow politicians surrounding them, voicing concern or outrage to the direction that things are going? Okay. And it's often easier to go and look at a politician's voting record than it is to heed the words that they say to us. So let me ask you, how did these things work out for us? Healthcare, college and education, housing, structure of the home and family, energy policies, farming, national security and our border. All of these are programs that the federal government has either led or they have interfered with state policy to mandate federal policies. How have they worked out? Now they want to take over controlling the cost of our food. If you want to know what comes next, just read your history. How has the Patriot Act and National Defense Authorization Act worked out for us? How about the Affordable Care Act and shovel-ready jobs? Who sold thousands of acres of our land to the Chinese government to install failed solar farms near our military installations, costing taxpayers millions and hundreds of millions of dollars? No one's been accountable. The government of fairness brings diversity, equity, and inclusion to everything we do today. Hire an unqualified mid or high level manager to lead a critical program if the hire brings minimal experience but offers diversity. It was rumored the number one candidate to fill the VP seat for the Democratic Party was Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro. However, when it was identified that he is Jewish, his name was quickly dropped, and we now have a communist-loving, pedophile-supporting candidate. How is that for diversity and equity? The goal is equity to all. This doesn't mean raising the living standards of the poor, but lowering the living standards of the middle class to the level of poor. This means to steal the last of the middle class wealth. Though both candidates of the Liberal Party now say they will fix the inequity of Americans, their past records tell us otherwise. These candidates are a set of waffling candidates who offer zero to our nation, except more of the same for 4 more years. Open the borders, kill babies, raise taxes, kill free speech, more DEI, and for what? Power. So while the liberals hold their party convention in one of the most liberal cities in America, radicals march, shout, burn, and offer free abortions on demand outside the convention center. The circus of all circuses. A killing machine that is terminating babies of Americans. Yet our border crosses are breeding 7 and 8 children to none for Americans. Do you see what I see? This is a monkey see, monkey do ticket. The media is full of monkeypox, and now they are pushing monkeypox 2.0. No new ideas, just more of the same. Republicans seem more interested in lifting their voice for a softer, gentler message. Talk is cheap, and the fact speaks out against gender mutilation, the national debt, and direction of our nation. Let's just have one more investigation. Remember all the tough talk during Benghazi, January 6th, and all the other right side tough guy rants for investigations, big bark, no bite results. I hear the old Boy George tune, "Do You Really Want to Hurt Me?" playing in the background. Meanwhile, liberals are laughing their way to the election with cackling zombies that offers no positive agenda or direction. I must say the VP candidate does support legalizing child pedophilia. If you don't believe me, just look at his track record in the state that he governed in Minnesota. Think about this. It was the government that legalized bike helmets, hairnets in the kitchen, child care booster seats, and reduced the size of the super Slurpee cups and paper straws. These are high-level issues requiring high-level focus and education from our lawmakers, right? Yet, look at the previously mentioned programs that they had their hand in that failed. Yes, indeed, laws, mandates, executive orders, and fines for the non-willing participants while hiding their own misdeeds and using American taxpayer dollars to pay for their misdeeds. You go to jail for not wearing a mandated mask during the C era, yet they use your money for acts of sexual misconduct. The same government made up of 3 parties agrees to pay single pregnant ladies with manless homes more monthly support than pregnant ladies with a husband or boyfriend. This comes from the same organization that cannot define what a woman or lady is. According to the same organization, aka the government, a woman can be a dog on Monday, a cat on Tuesday, a monkey on Wednesday, pregnant on Thursday, and binary on Friday. Whatever you do, don't confuse the title of the woman or person on each given day, or else you will be destroyed for your mistake. We must respect and recognize a pregnant man with a beard and sideburns as whatever it wants to be on that day. Get that? This is the same organization who wants to take weapons from the American people because they may have mental health issues. Think about that. Tell me something. Why are we not seeing any of the DEI madness being imposed on college or professional athletes and athletic programs? While this madness continues, I will point out and remind you the days are coming to a podcast or internet voice who is speaking out will likely end very soon. As HFS warned 3 years ago, internet laws, policies, and ideology are changing quickly, and voices of reason are being shut down and even jailed in their other countries. This will not only apply to the internet, but also your local neighborhood, email, text, phone messages, and any other way that they can silence one Second Amendment right. If you think this sounds crazy, just go look at what the Liberal VP candidate put in place during the C era in his home state when he asked neighbors to turn in neighbors. Kitty camp is over, and you could easily wake up tomorrow and your world has changed to the point of no return. It is happening. It is happening quickly and right before your eyes. As I stated in my first book, Hope for Survival 1, I am a Christian conservative patriot who is white. I served my country 20 years in uniform and 42 years total. I don't care what you do on your time and dime. You can kiss camels or hug trees. I don't care. I don't answer for you or to you. Keep your personal desires and wishes across the street and on your time. I love my country and the freedom she has provided to me and my family. The fact that a government believes a nation should change completely to be like 10% of the population tells me they are part of it. I don't need to tell you, it's only going to get worse. It is. I'm not a magician or man with a magic ball telling me the future. I know this to be true because the good book tells us so. For those who don't read the good book, I challenge you to do this. Get a copy and start reading. When you are done, tell me Scripture does not match the world we live today. What are you going to do about it now? We all will be accountable for our choices someday. That means if there's something happening around you and it goes against your beliefs and you pull the curtains closed and hide, then to a degree you are also guilty for not speaking out, especially in the line of faith. That's just my opinion. I recently heard an outstanding interview that Steve Deace conducted with John Cooper, the leader of the contemporary Christian rock band Skillet. I don't particularly like that style of music, but the interview was outstanding. And one of the things that John Cooper pointed out was that in fact the number of contemporary rock bands who tour America recording and playing Christian songs and members of these bands can't spell Jesus. They simply are not people of faith. They are imposters. And we have the same thing that's taking place in many of our churches today. We have men in pulpits who go on Sunday and pretend to be a representative of the church and a person of faith who simply believe the total opposite. So we need to be very vigilant, and we also need to be very cognizant of where we are, where we spend time, what we support, the things that we stand for in our daily life. We knew it was going to come to these days. It appears they are here, and It is up to us individually on how we go about it, when and where to take a stand, and so forth. So, um, honestly, I encounter a lot of folks who who are fearful, and they get depressed and distressed over all the things that are going on around us. But truthfully, if you are a true person of faith, you should not allow the things taking place around us to get you down. You should only strengthen your position of your faith, and you should work to build upon your personal relationship with God, because there are going to be days ahead where the side of evil is going to do all they can to manipulate you and put you in a position to think it is a position of good when in fact you're being blindsided, and it will be a position of bad. Okay? And it's going to be up to you and where you stand and your knowledge of the word to be able to recognize these things. So keep the faith. Don't live your life in misery and depression. Regardless of where things are today, if you are saved, you know how the story ends, and it will all work out. Okay? Um, so live your life, live your day, make the most of it, reach out and help people around you, your family, your community, so that you can ride this train the days ahead until your number is called, and you no longer have to go through this. Okay? So remember, there is not a human man who is going to save us. So for any Christian or non-Christian who puts all their faith in a single person or candidate, one might appear better than the other, but the story is already written, and you need to understand that. Okay? So if you like this video, please hit like and share with others. And if you have not subscribed, please consider doing so. And I appreciate your time. And most of all, always remember how blessed that we are as people. And don't forget to give thanks. Bravo Echo out. Thank you for checking out the Hope for Survival YouTube channel. If you are new to Hope for Survival, you can check out our books at our webpage. Book 1, which is Hope for Survival, Getting You Prepared for Disasters, and Book 2, Hope for Survival, The Mindset, are both available for order on the website. We also offer the Hope for Survival football stick, which is a memory stick set up as a digital filing cabinet with files already loaded on there for you to digitally copy items such as deeds, auto transcript for ownership, wills, living wills, loans, banking information, items that if your home burned down or you had some form of a disaster, you could have all your important papers already digitally filed on this stick. All you do is simply drag the digital file into the appropriate preset folder so that you'll have it in the event of a disaster. You have to flee your home in a hurry, or also if you're away from home and you need critical information that's personal, if you have your memory stick with you, you can put it in your computer and pull that information up wherever you may be. Again, you can find these items to order at our website, https www.hopeforsurvival.com, or you can email me at preparedness101@protonmail.com, and I will try to help you out. Again, thanks for checking out the Hope for Survival YouTube channel. Hope to see you again.